everyone. Welcome to the Dog Mom Knits podcast, episode 29. My name is Amanda, and I'm coming to you from coastal Virginia, where I live with my husband, Sean, and our two dogs, Copper and Finley. This is a knitting podcast where I talk all about my crafty adventures and the things that I have been up to in the last 2 weeks. You can find me on Instagram as Dog Mom Knits, on Ravelry as Dog Mom Knits 08. And we do have an email address for this podcast, and that is dogmomknits@gmail.com. You will find links to all of the shops, products, podcasts, etc. in the down bar below. But as always, if you have any questions, if I forgot something, if I wasn't clear on something, if you just want to say hi and chat, love that. Send me an email or a DM on Instagram. Welcome to all of my new viewers, and welcome back to all of my returning viewers. We are at over 550 subscribers on the channel, which is amazing. I get this little pitter patter in my heart every time I get an email that says someone else has subscribed, because I feel like you guys are my friends, and I love coming on here every 2 weeks and talking with my friends about what I've been knitting. So thank you so much if you are a new viewer for checking me out. Thank you so much if you are a returning viewer for coming back and spending some of your time with me. I really, really appreciate it. So I am looking down at my handy dandy notebook. I think I showed it last time, my handy dandy notebook. This is where I keep all of my project notes and my podcast notes. So yeah, as I said, this is episode 29. Today is Sunday, August 6th. It is 2 days before my birthday. This will post on August 9th, so the day after my birthday. So happy birthday to me. My birthday is, pretty cool. I love my birthday. I mean, obviously, who doesn't love their birthday? Actually, my husband doesn't love his birthday. He doesn't like being the center of attention. Not that I do either, but birthdays aren't, I don't know. Birthdays were a big deal in my family growing up. And so they just mean, it's just joy and fun and love and, all that stuff. But yeah, I am turning 44? 3. Probably shouldn't have started that sentence if I didn't know how to finish it. 44? Sean says I'm turning 44. So I'm turning 44 years old. I don't feel 44. I don't know what 44 is supposed to feel like, though. So maybe I do feel 44 and I just don't know it. My students always pay me the best compliments because they always ask me how old I am. And I tell them because I don't care. It doesn't bother me. And they always say, oh my gosh, I thought you were 30. I mean, they're not saying, they're saying it because they're sweet, and there's a really bad glare on my glasses from that light. They're just sweethearts, and they say what they think because they're in middle school, but 44? Is that supposed to? I don't know. Let me know in the down bar below if you, if 44 is supposed to feel like something. Because I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here. Making it up as I go along like I usually do. So happy birthday to me. And there will be something in it for you guys later. Make sure you stay. Check out the entire video, because birthdays mean presents. And sending some presents, Okay, let's get started with finished objects, because I cannot wait to show you guys my first finished object. First finished object I want to show you guys is my lounging top. I'm so excited to show you guys my project. It's done. There we go. All the way down to the hem. It has not had its final blocking because I wanted to make sure that I could show it to you guys on the podcast, and I wasn't sure how long it would take to dry, but I will block it, and then I'll take really good finished object photos and post them on Instagram and on Ravelry. This is my sport weight lounging top by Joji Locatelli. Somehow in my head, I had it named the summer lounging tee. That is not what it's called. It's called the Lounging Top Sport by Joji Locatelli. I started this project on June 13th of 2021, and I finished it on August 2nd of 2023. I knit it out of Elspeth Lavold Silky Wool in the colorway Tangelo. I knit the 62-inch bust because she called for 10 inches of positive ease. I knit it on a US 7, and I knit the ribbing on a US 5. So I'll do a pan up so you guys can see it. The neckline is very simple ribbing, different ribbing. It's like flat almost. I love it. And then the sleeves just come out to this ribbing right here. And then it's just straight down the body. It does have a high-low hem, which was worked. I got that using some short rows, doing some short rows. I like that look. I like a high-low hem, so I was glad that she included that. And then again, the ribbing at the bottom is more like the ribbing at the top, where it's not like traditional ribbing, which I thought was a nice touch. I absolutely love it. It fits great. I did modify the body to, she said to knit to a certain number of inches, and I knit to 4 inches longer than that. I thought that's what I wanted. It is a little too long, like not too long, but it is a little long. So next time I would not knit to that length. Like I would err on the side of knitting a little bit shorter because it's pretty long. I'll take some video or some pictures and insert them in here so that you guys can see them and see what it looks like when it's on, because sitting over here in my little knitting corner, I'm not going to be able to show that to you guys. I had trouble picking up the neckline. I couldn't really see the stitches that I was supposed to pick up, and ended up picking up a lot more. Probably 10, no, it was more than that. Maybe 20 stitches more than I was supposed to. I just decreased on the first round. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do, like if that's good sweater practice, but that's what I did. And my pickup edge, especially here in the front, was really messy. There were a lot of like gaps between the ribbing and the sweater itself, like where it was dipping down, like it looked like a yarn over. And so when I pulled off the yarn at the end, at the bind off, I went ahead and pulled off this really big long tail, and I kind of basically did a whip stitch along this border between the neckline and the sweater itself, just to kind of close up some of those holes. You can see it if you look carefully at it, but that's okay. And from far away, you can't really tell, and it looks infinitely better than it did before. So it's okay. I have said multiple times on the podcast that my goal was that I was going to finish this by the first day of school so that I could wear it to school. That is still the plan, that I will be wearing this on the first day of school. I'm a middle school English teacher, if you're new here. I'll be wearing this on the first day with my students. And I just think that's really fun. Probably wear it to back to school night as well with the parents, because it'll be a good, like a fun little talking point. Because we're encouraged to share kind of a little bit about ourselves. And a lot of the parents know that I knit. So, you know, I think it'd be a cool kind of talking point on, excuse me, Finley fur, dog litter. Like a fun little talking point with the parents and I, if I have my sweater on. So it's great. Hopefully you guys saw some video or some pictures and you can see how it fits. I love it. I will talk later about my next top, my next tee. I guess it's a tee. I wrote show notes. I just can't figure out what I'm supposed to be saying right now. I'm sorry, you guys. This is going to be the wait, man, what was I saying? Episode, apparently. This is the back neck. This is the back of the sweater going down to, again, that high-low hem. I would totally knit this sweater again. And I actually have a kit of yarn that I was using to make a shawl out of that I am not in love with. That I am pretty sure I'm going to frog that shawl, even though I'm like 90% done. And I really, really, really want to repurpose that yarn into another one of these. So watch this space. I'm going to do my Vibes tee first because I've already swatched for that. The yarn is here. Like, I'm ready for that. But I could easily see myself knitting another one of these with the yarn that I'm going to frog my shawl project from. So yeah, I think that's everything that I was going to tell you guys. You have seen this sweater a lot. I'm so grateful that it's done. I am so glad that you guys have stuck with me through this. I can't believe my first garment is finished. I can't believe my first garment fits. Because I started this project in 2021. I know my gauge has changed. I know my gauge has loosened up since then. So the fact that it still fits, even though it's 2 years and 2 months later, and I know my gauge has changed, like so many reasons why this should not fit. And the fact that it does makes me really, really happy. So yeah, see, I almost did it. My summer lounging top. Nope. My lounging top sport weight. All done. Just one final blocking and then we'll be done. It'll be ready for the first day of school. What else? I knit a dishcloth. Hold on, let me figure out which one this is the front. So my second finished object is the Date Squares dishcloth, which is a pattern by the Kitchen Sink Shop. If you were watching back in the spring, every month the Kitchen Sink Shop puts out in her newsletter a free dishcloth pattern. This year it's themed all on desserts, and I was knitting them every month until May, when life just got away from me and I didn't do it. And I have not knit May, June, or July. Well, that's not true. I have knit May now. This is May Date Squares. I knit it out of Knit Picks Dishy in the colorway Pebble Multi. I think it's great. I love it. I do have plans to go back and catch up on June and July and to make sure I knit August. My goal is to have all 12 washcloths finished by the end of the year, so that at Christmas I can gift 4 of them to my husband, 4 of them to my mom, and 4 of them to my sister, because they each love them. Love having these handmade dishcloths in there. I think all 3 of them use it in their kitchens, like when they have to hand wash dishes. So, but this is the date squares by the Kitchen Sink Shop. Very simple finished object. One more finished object, but I'm not going to go get them. I finished my Contrast Blast socks, which is the Stephen West secret sock knit along that he did in the month of July. I finished my socks. I love them. They fit great. I'm crossing my fingers they fit great. But in my infinite wisdom, I decided to wet block them this morning, knowing that I was podcasting this afternoon. I don't even know where my brain was. They are very wet still, obviously. So I'm going to let them dry and I will show them to you guys on the next podcast. So make-alongs that I am participating in, I am participating in the Make 9 year-long challenge hosted by Amy of Noble Character Crafts, and my lounging top qualified for that. My Contrast Blast socks counted for Summer Sock Camp hosted by Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady. And I was participating in the Splash Pad Party, which is hosted by Boston Jen of the Down Cellar Studio podcast, but that has ended. I finished 8 projects for the Splash Pad Party. That's really cool. And I got an email earlier this week that I won a prize for the Splash Pad Party. What? I never win anything. And here lately, I'm like racking up the prizes. It's pretty awesome. I won a pattern from a Ravelry shop. So I will put the Ravelry shop name up here because I know I cannot pronounce it. And I will put a picture of the project, the pattern that I bought. It's a headband and a cowl. I think it's really, really pretty. And I think it could be a really fun project for somebody for Christmas. Keep that one down low. I don't think they're watching, but maybe. So yeah, 3 finished objects. Sorry, I only could show you 2. I don't know what I was thinking. Wet blocking a pair of socks on the morning I was going to podcast. I don't have any idea. So let's go to whips. The whip that's been kind of getting the majority of my attention lately because it's pretty much mindless is a pair of socks that I'm knitting for my husband. I started these socks on October 5th of 2022. These were supposed to be Christmas gifts for him. A Christmas gift for him last Christmas, and that didn't happen. But I'm calling them my tropical Christmas socks. So I have the first one finished. Excuse me. I'm using the String of Lights pattern by Sock Witchery. And the yarn is 3 by the Sea Designs Tropical Christmas. That's why I call them my tropical Christmas socks. My husband is Australian. And so Christmas is hot down there in Australia because their seasons are reversed from ours in the US. And so he always complains that it's too cold at Christmas, even if it's like 60 degrees or 70 degrees. He's like, it's supposed to be 100 degrees. So when Kim came out with this yarn last year, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have that for Sean. So it's like the red and green mixed in with the yellows and oranges. It's a beautiful colorway. And it looks Christmassy without like hitting you over the head with Christmas. But like I said, I have the first one done. I have been working on the second one. I finished the leg and the heel. I'm working on the gusset now and the foot. For Sean, I do use a kind of traditional heel flap and gusset because that's what fits him the best. Sorry, it got kind of tangled. Why are you being weird? And I do have a progress keeper on there that is also from 3 by the Sea. Since these were Christmas socks, I decided to pull out a Christmas stitch marker. It's a little gingerbread girl. It's in a Christmas bag that my husband made me, the guy who sews. So I'm trying to think if I have anything else to tell you. I'm knitting these on a US 1.5, 64 stitches. That is my kind of go-to needle size and number of stitches for Sean, myself, my mom, my dad. The only people I don't do 64 stitches for are our exchange students, who I typically do knit 56 stitches for their socks. So yeah, I'm just plugging along. This is my Bible knitting in the morning when I'm listening to the Bible, and in the evening when I'm watching TV and I want to knit something, but I don't really want to think about what I'm knitting. The String of Lights pattern is what I always knit Sean socks out of because it gives just enough ribbed texture to help the sock fit him really well. So yeah, that's kind of a vanilla sock for Sean, is the String of Lights pattern. So I don't really have too much to say about that. But I'm working through those, working through that. I am thinking, like, I'm pretty confident I'll be done with that by Christmas of this year. So that's pretty exciting. I'm happy about that. My next work in progress is, I mean, it's a work in progress, basically. You'll see what I mean. I have it in a bag that my husband made me. This is a sweater size bag from the guy who sews. This is what my lounging top was in until, and then when I finished it, I switched it over to this. This is what my Vibes tee is in. This is a pattern by Tiff Nealon. This is going to be my next sweater garment, or my next garment. I have done the swatch for it. That's why I said it's kind of a work in progress. But this is the swatch, the first swatch. I'm hoping the only swatch. But it is, I hope I did it big enough. I did the cheat in the round swatch where you like carry your floats in the back. I used a US 6 because that's what the pattern calls for. And I'm going to measure it, wet block it, and measure it again because I'm curious to see if it's going to stretch. I am using Emma's yarn. Show you the ball band of one of the new colors that I just got in. Emma's yarn in her Practically Perfect sock base. I've got 4 colors of this yarn. I swatched out of what is my main color, which is called Blue Blazer. And then I have a gray with some speckles that's called Orbit. And then I needed 2 more colors to go with those 2. So I bought this yellow, which is called Buttonwood, because I thought it would pick up the yellows that are in the Orbit color. And I bought this pink, which is called Barbie Girl, because I thought that would be a fun little pop of color. So the Vibes tee is a striped sweater. And this is what, I can't do it. Let me try again. Okay, there we go. So these are my 4 colors for my Vibes tee. And I think it is going to be so fun. I am so excited. So I am waiting on something that I ordered. I ordered a swatch ruler off of Etsy. because I think it's going to make it a lot easier to measure my swatch. And I'll show that next time because hopefully it'll be here. The first one I ordered got lost in the mail. The company reached out to me, which I thought was very sweet. And they're like, okay, we're seeing that it's lost. Do you want us to refund you? Do you want us to replace it? Like, what do you want us to do? And I was like, replace it. Like, yes, I still want it. And so the new one should be here, I think tomorrow or Tuesday. So I will measure, wet block, measure, and then cross my fingers. I got gauge on my summer lounging top when I did the gauge swatch for that, but I am a ridiculously tight knitter. Like, ugh, I knit so tight. So it will surprise me if I get gauge. Happy surprise. If I don't have to do another swatch, but yeah. We'll see. Watch this space. Hopefully in 2 weeks when I podcast again, I will have figured out what needles I'm supposed to use and I will be working through that sweater. I would love, yeah, that's not going to happen. I was going to say in 2 weeks when I podcast again, it'll be right before the students come back to school. And I was going to say I would love to be past the sleeve separation. I don't think that's very likely. I don't have too many active whips though. And this is what I really want to work on. So maybe that is possible. Okay. The next work in progress is, oh my gosh, dog glitter. Is being, I have it in a bag by JD Studios 460. I love this bag. I bought this as part of when it was, JD Studios had it as pigskin party sponsor for Down Cellar Studio last fall. And I love it. I am knitting a basic beanie hat. This is what I have so far. This is a pattern by Hands On Knitting Corner. I knit the brim on a US 6. I'm knitting the hat on a US 7. I'm doing everything that pattern calls for because I am recording this process for how to knit a hat tutorial videos that are going to be up on the channel in the fall. I'm knitting the size small because I am planning on this being a Christmas gift. Again, not saying for who, just in case. But I am using Cascade 220 Superwash in the colorway Space Needle. It's just a beautiful, beautiful gray. I love this yarn. I bought a blanket quantity years and years ago and gave up on the blanket because it was like the most complicated thing in the history of ever. And I was like, yeah, no, I can't do this. I could. I got some of the squares done, but it was not fun because the squares were so intense. But I had all the yarn and I was like, well, I'll just keep it. And then like I keep finding reasons to use it. It's really fun. But it makes for a beautiful hat. I've knit a hat out of this before. So yeah, not too much to say about these. I'm using a stitch marker from 3 by the Sea because that's what I do. Looking down at my notes, the basic beanie hat by Hands On Knitting Corner, making hat tutorials. Okay, so I guess that's it. I don't know, guys. Why do I feel like I don't know what I'm doing today? Any ideas? My last work in progress, I cast on a while ago, and I just realized I did not have dates. The basic beanie hat I started like August 1st, I think is when I started those tutorials, July 31st. This project, I cannot remember when I started it. It was back in the spring, but this is my Musselburgh hat. I've talked about the fact that I started a Musselburgh hat in this yarn, but I hadn't shown it to you guys. So I thought I'd go ahead and do that now since I remembered. But I am knitting a Musselburgh hat. This is a pattern by Isolde Teague. I am using the Love in Speckles colorway from Brianna of the Little Wolf Knits. That's it, and it's cake. This was a custom colorway that she dyed for the Love and Stitches membership. And I think it is beautiful, and it is making an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous hat. This will be for me. I'm also planning, I've got like this whole Musselburgh on the go kit in this bag. So my plan is to record a video and upload it here to YouTube showing you guys kind of what is in my Musselburgh kit. So if you want a Musselburgh on the go and you're like, what do I need to put in it? Like, what notions do I need? I'll show you, because my bag is literally, I could walk out of the house with this and knit an entire Musselburgh with just what's in this, bag. So the bag is from Lone Larch Designs. She doesn't make bags anymore that I am aware of. But I love this fabric, and I know Bags by Awesome Granny has this fabric because I have a sweater bag in it because I love it so much. But yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about the hat because it's just a Musselburgh hat, US 4s. I knit, yeah, so it's fingering weight, glitter. So fingering weight yarn. I knit it on a US 4 and knit the child slash adult small. Is that right? Or am I knitting the adult medium? I think I'm knitting the adult small. There will be a video about it on my YouTube channel someday, so you can see how I made my little Musselburgh on the go kit. That's it for active whips. I do have a lot of whips down here in my knitting pile. But those are the only ones that are getting attention right now. I'm really, 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 really ready to get that Vibes tee going. So yeah, I'm excited for that to be kind of the thing that gets a lot of attention. And I'm hoping once school starts, I'll be able to still have the brain space to knit that. I'm a little nervous about it, because that's what would happen with my lounging top, is school would start and I'd put it away. But it doesn't seem that complicated, so I'm hopeful. Hopeful I'll be able to work on that during the school year. So that's it for projects. Let's talk acquisitions. Earlier, I mentioned that I was in the Love and Stitches membership. I have been this is my 3-year anniversary. So I've been in it 2 full years now. The theme for the last term of the membership was fun and games. And the big kind of culminating event for that term was a virtual Price is Right game night for the membership. Natalie, who runs the membership, and her husband Kent hosted, and I love the Price is Right. It is like my childhood. And so I was so excited. And I actually got picked to be a contestant. I got to play one of the games. They spun the wheel for us. And I got into the showcase, and then I priced the showcase best and won the grand prize for the night. So that was like one of the coolest things that happened this summer for me. Is like, I don't know, I'm such a nerd. Like, I literally grew up watching The Price is Right. Like, it was sick days, it was school holidays, 11 o'clock. I was there on CBS watching Bob Barker telling everybody to make sure your pets are spayed and neutered. Like, I just, and then this happened. So anyway, my prize package came in. So because I won the whole thing, I mean, everybody that played got something. But I got a bag from Stolen Minutes. This is the this was the bag that was for Sock Week this year that Stolen Minutes sewed for Sock Week. And she has the black and white stripes on the inside. Oh, Natalie put in one of the stickers that says Love and Stitches. That's really sweet. So I got my project bag, which I had been wanting one and I didn't get it. It's mermaids that are knitting and sharks with sweaters on. And I was like, kind of bummed that I didn't get one. So it's, you know, it's kind of fun that now I have one. So I'll put that up there because that's where my project bags live. And I got 2 skeins of Barker wool. The colorway is called My Happy Place. What's from Happy? My husband just said this is from Happy Gilmore.
My Happy Place is part of the movie.
Oh, it's part of Happy Gilmore. I'll try not to make that make me not like the yarn anymore. It is a single ply, 100% superwash merino. I think Natalie said this is her intentional pooling. So it's so soft. Like this is it's just glorious. But I need to go on to, these are the 2 skeins that I got. I need to go onto Ravelry and look at how it knits up and whether I actually want to do an intentional pooling project, like a shawl with it, because I've been interested in that, in the idea of intentional pooling. I think that's what it's called. Where like you knit and then when you get to a color, you do a certain stitch. And then you knit, like I would knit the gray, and when I get to the purple or the green, I would knit a certain stitch, and there's a pattern that's been designed for this intentionally. I don't know. I need to go online and go onto Ravelry and look, because I am really excited because it feels so good. They are 100 gram skeins, 3.5 ounces, approximately 437 yards each. I just think this would be, wish yours feels so soft. Like, I just want this to be right here. This is where I want it, right here. Okay. So, this is where fingering weight yarn that is not going to be socks goes. So, we're going to put that in there. My next acquisition is a birthday present from my husband. He knows that I am a huge fan of Lauren of Granite State Yarns. So he bought me some of her yarn for my birthday. So that is her logo. The yarn is called Gloria. It's 100 grams, 400 yards. It is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and it is a 4-ply. And it has this mini with it, which is a sparkle mini. But this is just me in a skein of yarn. My husband knows me very well. That is just so pretty. And my plan is to knit a pair of socks out of it at some point in the future. This is where sock yarn goes. But it is just really, really pretty. Another skein of yarn that I ordered for myself. This is from Mandy's Makings. This is her logo. It is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 462 yards in the main skein, 92 yards in the mini. It is fingering weight. It's called the Wahoo Sock Set. I am going to knit my next pattern out of this. I have an idea for a pair of socks. I'm calling them, like, tentatively, they're going to be called the Spring Showers socks. Bless you, husband. And I just thought this would be perfect for the sock idea that I have in my head. So this is going to be what the spring showers socks are knit out of. Just look at that. Look at all of that. It is just... Okay, so that goes in there. And I have one more. Where is it? Wait, where is it? Make that two more.
A few moments later.
I saw on Instagram that Simply Serving was offering a sale. I think it was like buy one, get one, a certain percentage off. And so I bought a beginning of round marker for my Musselboro hat. And then I bought this, oh, so adorable, I guess it's a coffee cup or a hot chocolate. It has a little chocolate piece up here and then a daisy on the front. It is so beautiful. I love Simply Serving's stitch markers. So they're so amazing. And then the last thing that I got is from Twice Sheared Sheep. She was one of these Splash Pad Party sponsors, and she had these tins with this super cute little frog. And I got the large one, so it's a slide lid. You can keep like stitch markers and scissors and tape measures in there. And then it just snaps shut for going into your project bag. I wasn't going to get one. And then she was like, they're going away and they're not coming back. And I was like, okay, yeah, he has to come live at my house. Well, no, cute he is. So yeah, he will go in one of my projects. I'm not sure which one. Or he might just sit here and smile at me and make me happy. I don't know which. That's it for, that's it for acquisitions. So let's go into Dog Mom Knits news and giveaways. The last video that went up on the channel was podcast episode 28. That was 2 weeks ago. So go check it out if you haven't seen it yet. I've mentioned a couple of videos and tutorials and things that I'm working on for the channel that already like in this video. So there will be some of that coming. And I've got some, like another podcast in 2 weeks. Like I'm crossing my fingers that when school starts later this week, that I'm still going to be able to keep up with my Dog Mom Knit stuff and be able to still podcast and put the tutorials out and everything that I had planned. So I mentioned on the last podcast that I was going to be doing giveaways for my birthday. So Heather of Craft Nut Yarn reached out to me and she said she would like to donate some yarn for a giveaway. And of course, my husband, who is the guy who sews, was like, I'll make some project bags for you. So we're going to have two giveaways on this episode. One of them is this bag from the guy who sews. And then it's this, this skein of yarn from Heather, who is Craft Nut Yarns. It is called, it's very fitting. It is called Birthday Sprinkles. It's a fingering weight yarn, 75-25. It comes with this purple mini skein. Oops. And this stitch marker from 3 by the Sea Designs, which is like a sparkle green. So this is one of the prizes. Birthday Sprinkles yarn and a bag. The other is the same bag fabric from the guy who sews. And more yarn from Heather. This one is called Tropical Summer. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. Oh my goodness. It also will have a stitch marker from 3 by the Sea. It's a flip-flop. And a purple mini. So this is the second one. So to be entered, all you have to do is comment below and use the word birthday. And I will pick a winner before the next podcast, which will probably be Sunday the 20th is when I will record that. So just, leave any comment down below with the word birthday, and I will pick 2 winners before I record the next podcast. I did have one more acquisition that I wanted to show you guys. Heather graciously gifted those 2 skeins to the podcast for me to give away. But when I saw birthday sprinkles, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have that. So I bought a skein of birthday sprinkles. And this is going to be my birthday cast on. So I'm going to cast this pair of socks on Tuesday the 8th, which is my birthday. I always cast something on my birthday. And a skein of yarn called Birthday Sprinkles. I mean, look at that. Look at it. It's so gorgeous. But a skein of yarn called Birthday Sprinkles was just too good to pass up. So this skein of yarn is going to be my birthday cast on. Beautiful, beautiful pair of socks with my friend Heather's yarn. So that's it for knitting content. I am going to do a little bit of a life update. So if you're not here for that and you're just here for the knitting stuff, thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you in 2 weeks, unless I get one of the tutorials or extra videos out before then. If you are here for life stuff, then let's just chat about life. So last time I recorded, I was reading Yarn to Go by, I think it was Betty Hechtman. I ended up finishing it. I gave it 2 stars on Goodreads, which means I finished it, but I didn't really like it. Obviously, I did not read the second story, the second one in the book series. I switched to a different series called, the first book is called A Page of Murder. It's by Penny Brooke. I'm going to finish it, but it is also only going to get 2 stars from me on Goodreads. The main character is super annoying. Like she did something in the beginning of the book that was not smart. And she keeps saying, oh, I should fix it. I should go back. I should apologize. I should make it right. But she won't do it. Even though it's impeding the murder investigation of somebody that she considered a really close friend. Like, well, how close a friend are they if you're what? I find her super annoying. I love everybody else. Like, I love all the ensemble characters in the book, but she's driving me insane. So, I'm going to be done with this series. Like, I'm seriously considering just flipping to the end, figuring out who the murderer was, and then just moving on with my life. Because I'm like 60% into it, and I'm like, how many more pages? I don't want to read anymore. I am done watching Project Runway, not because I finished all of the seasons, but because I've caught up to the seasons that I was able to watch over the past couple years. So I'm pretty much like, I'm like over it. And so I'm done. I did start watching the most recent season of Top Chef, which is on Peacock. It was season 20. It's really good. It's like chefs all around the world and who have done Top Chefs and their Top Chef seasons in their own countries. And I think that's really cool. I've seen every episode of Top Chef multiple times. So this is pretty fun. It's like a different take on an all-star season. I'm still watching Castle. I'm in season 6 and there are 8. So almost done with that. And I did finally, because I wanted to wait until more of the season was out, but I did start watching Crime Scene Kitchen, which is on Hulu. And it's airing on Fox. I think it's on Monday nights right now. It's a really fun like spin on a baking show. If you've never seen it and you enjoy baking shows, it's really good. We haven't really been on any adventures outside of the fact that we redid the living room floor a couple weeks ago. Sean did that, ripped up the carpet and put down vinyl laminate. And then this past week, we were able to get the dining room and hallway entryway done. Sean ripped out the carpet, and then we hired a contractor to demo the ceramic tile and then put down the flooring. It looks incredible. It feels like a brand new house. Like I can't even articulate that. It just really feels to me like this is not even our house. I think if Daria, Misha, and Mary, who were our 3 exchange students in the past 4 years, came back, they would see the house from the outside, and then they'd walk in and they'd be like, what is going on? But I'll have pictures scrolling over here. It just looks so good. And then we put some money aside over the summer, especially in a big part because we couldn't go to Pittsburgh this summer like we had planned. And we put some of that money that was going to be yarn money towards hiring someone to come and do a deep clean of the house after all the construction and stuff. Well, it's not construction, like all the renovations and stuff. And that was just, so nice. Like everything is clean and sparkly and shiny and it smells good. And it's been a bigger undertaking. The floors were a little bit of a bigger undertaking than I think, expected. But we are so, so, so incredibly grateful to be able to have this done and for the house to be top to bottom cleaned by a professional, and the flooring, and Simon's coming, and yeah, it's just been so good. Words escape me. It's just been really good. I mentioned it earlier, but so this is going to post on August 9th. I go back to school on the 10th, so on Thursday. The students come back on the 21st, so that's pretty good. I got a couple work days and meetings and getting my classroom ready and all that stuff. Sean and I are going Monday the 7th, so this past Monday for you guys, to set up my classroom because I moved classrooms over the summer. Well, I didn't. They moved my classroom. They moved all my stuff. And so we're going to go unpack and get my classroom set up because mentally it's just so much better for me if I go back to work, officially go back to work with a classroom that's already set up instead of trying to set it all up as I'm going to meetings and doing all the other things that I have to do. It's just much better for me mentally if that's already done. So Simon will be here. Our next exchange student will be here on August 19th. We did a Skype call with him and his parents this past week, and that's pretty awesome. He seems like he is just a super, super sweet kid, and we are very, very excited to be going on this journey with him. He is our 4th exchange student, our first boy. He's from the Czech Republic. His older brother, who I think is 20 or 21, came to the States for an exchange year, his senior year as well. He was in Texas. I think they said an hour away from Dallas. So it's pretty cool that Simon's coming and having that kind of same experience as his big brother. His dad said one of the sweetest things when we were talking on Skype. He said that, they're going to miss Simon a lot, they know that because they've done this with their older son, but they said that they've seen firsthand the impact this exchange year has on their older son. Their dad said he left a boy and came back a young man. And I thought that was just like just the sweetest sentiment from a father as he lets his sons go off at 17 to live in a stranger's home in a completely different country, on a completely different continent. So yeah, he'll get here on the 19th, go pick his classes on the 21st. That's really it. We'll start having more adventures with him, going places on the weekends and stuff. And I will, of course, include all of that as we go through the fall and or the 10 months that he's here. I think that's it for projects and yarny goodness. It always interests me to hear things that sound like they're coincidence, but my faith is very important to me if you're new here. And I know that the God that I serve is not a God of coincidences. So someone counted and it says in the Bible, there are 366 verses that say, do not be afraid or do not fear, one for every day of the year, including a leap year. And I know that that is not by accident. I know that that is not human intervention of the word. That is just God making sure his children know that 365 days out of the year, we have nothing to fear because he is with us. And this is a new, quite a busy kind of tumultuous season for me. My new school year is starting. Our new exchange student is coming. Every single day, 365 times, he says, do not be afraid. I'm so grateful that not only do I have nothing to fear, but I serve a God that doesn't want me to enough. He doesn't want me to enough that he wrote it down 365 times or spoke it into existence to people, for men to write it down 365 times. Do not be afraid. I love that. Joshua 1:9. Do not be afraid. The Lord, I think it's Joshua 1:9. For the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for checking me out and hanging out with me. If you have any questions, please send me an email or a DM on Instagram. And don't forget to leave a comment with the word birthday so that you can be entered to win those adorable bags and yarn from Heather of Craft Nut Yarns and the stitch markers from 3 by the Sea Designs. I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye, everybody.